Welcome back. Previously, we were dealing with present value concept or discounting concept, and we were dealing with various cases that comes under present value concept. Today, we will discuss in detail how to find the present value factor as well as the present value of a certain amount for a specific period, and how to find the present value factor and the equation relating to it. Let's deal with some of the cases relating to that part. Next case, find the total present value of each cash inflows at the end of each year shown below. Period of 5 years. Cash flows for the 5 years is 2000, 3000, 3500, 3000 and 4000. You are asked to find the present value of each cash inflow. Here 5 inflows are given. It may be cash inflows or cash outflows, that depends. Here 5 cash flows are given. You are asked to find the present value of certain amount for that specific period. So in that case, you need to find the present value factor. In order to find the present value factor, there will be a specific percentage that mentioned in the question. Here, it is given the interest is 8%. Even though it said that interest is 8%, it means present value factor for that specific case is 8%. So consider like that. It may not be given like present value of that certain cash flows will be 8%. It may be given as interest for that period, or cash inflow for that period, or cash outflow percentage for that period, or maybe the cost of that investment. Anyway, whenever a rate is given, remember it is the present value factor. So, how you are going to find the total present value of each cash flow? So in this case, you need to find the present value of each flows, and you need to take the sum of all these present value flows. So for the first year, it will be 2000. So let it be first year. Cash inflow will be 2000. You need to find the present value factor, and the present value can be obtained by multiplying cash inflow or cash flow and present value factor. So it will be cash flows will be A, present value factor will be B, and present value will be A into B. So how we are going to find the present value factor? The equation for finding the PV factor is already discussed in the previous sessions. That is, present value factor is 1 divided by 1 plus R by 100 raised to n. This is the equation for finding the present value factor. Remember, 1 divided by 1 plus R by 100 raised to n. So, for the first year, the cash inflow or the cash flow is 2000. The PV factor is 1 divided by 1 plus R, here it is 8 by 100 raised to n. N is for the first year, so it will be 1. You will get 0.926. So, by multiplying 2000 with the present value factor, you will get the present value of that particular cash flow. Similarly, for the second year, the amount is 3000. PV factor is similarly the same case, 1 plus 8 by 100 raised to, here it is time is 2, so it will be raised to 2. You will get 0.857. By multiplying 3000 with that PV factor, you will get 2571. Similarly, in the third year, 3500, the same procedure, 1 plus 8 by 100 raised to 3. You will get 0.794. By multiplying 3500 with the PV factor, you will get 2779. And for the fourth year, similarly the same case, 3000 into 0.735, 1 plus 8 by 100 raised to 4, you will get 0.735. By multiplying these two, you will get 2205. And finally, by the end of the last year, cash inflow or flow is 4000. Same procedure, 0.681. By multiplying these two, you will get 2724. So there is the equation for finding the present value factor for certain specific percentages equation will be is this. Even though there is an equation for finding that present value, there is a simple trick to find the PV factor. If you are using a calculator, just take the calculator and type 1 divided by 1 plus r by 100. Here it is 8, so it will be 0.8. So 1 divided by 1.08, you will get 0.9259, something like that. You need to take the round figure, so it will be 0.926. Okay. So instead of trying out the same equation again and again by substituting the same values raised to n, changing n, instead of doing that, there is a simple trick. Now you got 0.925. Okay, 925 like that. It is, so we can take a 0.926. That's a round figure. Now, without clearing the calculator, divide the same by 1.08. You will get 0.857. It's a simple trick. Now you got the present value of the second year, present value factor of the second year. Again, divide by 1.08. You will get the present value factor for the certain percentage for the third year, 0.938 like that. You can take a 0.9 for round figure. Again, divided by 1.08, you will get 0.735. Likewise, for the any percentage, you can easily find the PV factor. Usually the PV factor has to be given in the question, but in some cases, if it is not available in the question, you need to find the PV factor. So you have to aware about how to find the PV factor. There is a table for finding the PV factor. We will discuss that part in some other sessions. For the time being, just study how to find the PV factor and the simple trick for finding the PV. With this same trick, you can find the PV factor of any percentage. So, in the question you are asked to find the total present value of each cash flow. Now we have got the present value of each individual cash flow. So, in order to find the total present value, just take the sum, you will get 12131. So, the total present value of cash inflows together is 1213 or 12,131. This is how you need to find the present value factor. Remember this concept. You may have to deal with the same case in the coming session or in the future classes, because it's an important concept or part of financial management decision. So remember this concept, present value factor and this present value concept or discounting concept. Okay, let's deal with some other cases. Next one. For the marriage of Mr. A's daughter, he wants rupees 50,000 after 4 years and rupees 60,000 after 6 years from now. How much money he must deposit in a bank paying 10% compound interest per annum? Here, Mr. A wants rupees 50,000 after 4 years and 60,000 after 6 years. So he wants two assets of amount for different period. How much money he must deposit in a bank paying 10,000 compound interest? So how much he have to deposit in a bank so that he will get 50,000 after 4 years and rupees 60,000 after 6 years. So here the future amounts are given. You are asked to find the present values. So since here two amount for two specific periods is given, we can deal likewise. So there are two amounts. For the first part, the first amount is he has to receive 50,000 at the end of the fourth year. So here the annual amount is given. You are asked to find the present value. So let the P be question mark, A equal to 50,000, N is 4 and R is 10. I hope you are following this. By substituting in the equation, P equal to A into 1 plus R by 100 raised to minus N. P we don't know. P let it be P. A is 50,000, 50,000 into 1 plus R, here it is 10, 10 by 100 raised to minus 4. By solving this, you will get P equal to 50,000 into 1.1 raised to 4. By solving these numbers within the bracket, you will get 1.1 raised to minus 4. 1.1 raised to minus 4 means you need to multiply 1.1 4 times, and you need to divide 1 divided by that product. You will get 0.683. Why we dividing the 1 divided by this product? Because you need to change the negative factor of this number. So 5,000 into 0.683, you will get 34,150. So he has to invest a certain amount of 34,150 now, so as to get 50,000 by the end of fourth year. So first part is over. And for the second amount, he has to receive 60,000 at the end of the sixth year, and how much he has to deposit. So the principal amount, present amount, we don't know. And annual amount is 60,000, time period is 6, R is 10. So substituting the same in the equation, P equal to A into 1 plus R by 100 raised to minus 10. By substituting the same, P we don't know, A is 60,000 into 1 plus 10 by 100 raised to minus 6. Again, P equal to 60,000 into 1.1 raised to minus 6. 1 plus 10 by 100 can be solved as 1.1. 1.1 raised to minus 6 means 1.1 has to be multiplied 6 times. And in order to remove the minus 6, you need to follow this procedure, 1 divided by the product of 1.1 raised to 6. 1.1 raised to 6, you will get a sum, and if you divide 1 divided by that product, you will get 0.565. And substituting the 565 in the equation, P equal to 60,000 into 0.565, you will get rupees 33,870. So you have got two amounts and the present value of the two amounts, and in the question you are asked to find how much amount he has to deposit in the bank, so that he will get 50,000 after certain year and 60,000 after certain year. So total amount has to be deposited, or the present value of the amount is rupees 68,020. It can be obtained by adding 34,150 and rupees 33,870. So you will get the amount of 68,020. So he has to deposit a rupees 68,020 now, so that he can get 50,000 after 4 years and 60,000 after 6 years. Just go through the question, understand it wisely, and do accordingly. In case of any doubts, just contact me. That's all for today. Thank you.